Hello and welcome to Mon Life Learning's film, Child's Play, Toys and Games from Bygone Days. The objects I'm going to show you today are not out on display in our museums. They are usually in our museum stores at Abergavenny, Chepstow and Monmouth, so it's really great to be able to share objects with you that not many people get to see. In this film, I'm going to share with you a selection of toys and games which were popular in times past and may be familiar to you. I very much hope that you enjoy seeing the objects and that they create opportunities to chat and reminisce about your own favourite childhood toys and games. I've also included a craft activity at the end of the film to help you continue the conversation with friends and family and create a Toys and Games keepsake page. The first object we're going to explore is Teddy. We think this teddy was made in around 1904. This very old and much loved bear is a very early example of a teddy. You can see how well loved he was by the repairs that have been made to his paws. If you look closely, you can see that his two paws are different colours. He's been restuffed, he's a bit threadbare in places, and he once had a hump on his back, which is now flat. Despite all this, he's still going strong, and I always smile when I see his friendly little face. Our next object is another cuddly toy. This is Panda. Panda was made by a famous Abergavenny toy maker called Wendy Boston. You can still see the name Wendy Boston on his back, but it's very faded due to its age. Wendy began making toys during World War II. She opened her factory in Abergavenny in 1947. This particular panda belonged to the brother of a former curator of Abergavenny Museum. Like Teddy, Panda was a much treasured toy. He's been well looked after, and as you can see, even his white fur is still bright and fluffy. Our next objects are not quite as cuddly, but they have been very well played with. Many of us would have had or played with sets of animals that came in 2 by 2, like these. We have no idea how these animals came to be together. As you can see, some are in pairs, some are in threes, and some are just on their own. Perhaps somebody was building their own ark and collecting animals along the way. These animals are made of lead and painted with lead paint. They're a great example of the kind of toys that were given to children to play with in the 40s, 50s and 60s. However, because of the lead, they wouldn't be given to children today. Our final object is a set of dominoes in their original tin. They're made of early plastic and make a lovely noise when they're stacked in the tin. Dominoes is an ancient game which originated in China. Our set was British made, and the manufacturer EML was obviously quite proud of this fact, as the word British is mentioned 3 times on the lid of the tin. These dominoes are typical of the kind of dominoes produced in the 1920s and 30s. A standard set of dominoes has up to 6 pips or dots on either side of the dividing line, but our dominoes have 9, and the tin contains a set of 55 tiles. As you can see, the tin is quite rusty and worn, but the tiles inside are in great condition. As it says on the lid of the tin, there are no loose faces and all the corners are intact. The owner of the dominoes obviously followed the instructions on the inside of the lid. Kindly replace after using, as the set is complete and looks like new. There are so many ways to play with dominoes, from 5s and 3s to chicken foot, or even setting up a domino rally. Now that we have explored some of the toys and games from our collections, how about continuing the conversation by talking about some of your favourite childhood playthings and capturing them on a keepsake page? To do this, you will need the keepsake page template, which you can download by visiting the link at the end of this film. Here are some keepsake pages I have made using pictures from magazines, the internet and photographs. You could even draw a picture of your favourite childhood toy. Next to each picture, you can see that there is a space for you to add a personal memory about the toys and games you had as a child. We really hope that you have fun doing this activity and that it sparks lots of conversation. If you've enjoyed this film, why not try taking a look at the other films in the series? Over the Counter, Shops and Shopping, Finishing Touches, Fashion Accessories from the Past, and Making Your Mark, Exploring Print and Pattern. Thank you for watching and see you next time.